bride, if you want to DIY anything for your wedding, you want to watch today's video. Hi, my name is Ashley Falco, and yes, I'm a professional crafter, and I'm here today to convince you that DIYing your wedding is the way to go. Now, I do have to tell you, I was doing my most favorite thing the other night, and it was scrolling through my social medias, and one video in particular stopped me in my tracks because that video was telling other brides, don't DIY because it is stressful and costs a lot of money. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to show you how we're going to do this for very limited costs, and we're going to have fun doing it. It's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. You are going to wonder why in the world did somebody tell another person don't DIY? Now, the coolest thing about today's project is you actually technically don't need to invest in a Cricut, and we are going to design within Canva using the free account. F-R-E-E, free. Today's project is making these beautiful acrylic table numbers. Everyone needs table numbers for their wedding. Now, technically, you don't need your Cricuts for this. I'm going to show you how we're going to design in free Canva, and then how you're going to be able to handwrite on your acrylic blanks perfectly, and you're going to be stress-free, not have any issues. But since I am a Cricut crafter, I'm going to be using my cute little Cricut Joy for this project. Isn't she so darling? The reason why I decided to choose the Cricut Joy for this project is because this is the most cheapest Cricut that you can possibly buy. Oftentimes these go on sale for $100, and you're going to be able to make so many things with this little guy. But again, totally optional. You don't have to get a Cricut. You can just do this with your hands and the free design program. Now, if you go the route of using a Cricut, you're going to want to pick up the best of the best vinyl that there is, and it's actually not that expensive. I love Cricut machines. I don't like the material. Don't buy the material. Just go with the best of the best. If we're trying to make this frustration free, get some tech wrap. Depending on how many table numbers you're going to need, you're probably only going to need a sheet or two anyhow. Then you're going to need a weeding tool pick, some transfer tape, and then obviously you're going to need the blank of your choice for your table numbers. These ones right here I actually created on my laser cutter, but you can also get them on Amazon, or even my Cardstock Warehouse sells some of these. All right, I am so excited to show you how DIYing things is so much fun, so much easy, and way better than just paying for someone else to do it. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. The very first thing you want to do is head over to Canva. I personally am going to be using a free account on Canva just to keep this as budget friendly as possible for all my DIY brides. What you want to do first is come over here and press Create Design. We want to come down here to Custom Size, and you want to change it from pixels over to inches, and we want this to be 8.5 by 11. Now all you want to do is press Create New Design. So the very first thing you want to do is insert the guide of your acrylics that you're going to be using. So what you want to do is come over here to Elements, and you're going to want to insert the shape that you're going to be using for your table numbers. My particular table numbers are a square, so I'm going to select the square. Now what you want to do is resize your shape to the size of your acrylic blank. So for my acrylic blanks, they're going to be 6 inches tall by 4 inches wide. Okay, then I am going to just do a border style. I'm going to select this border, and I'm going to make it just nice and thin. And then I'm going to come over here to the color, and I'm just going to make no color. And then we can click out of that. So everything that's going to be inside this rectangle is what is going to fit on my acrylic blank. So whatever we put needs to fit within this rectangle. Now what we want to do is insert a text box. So I'm just going to press T on my keyboard, and a text box is going to pop up. If you did not want to use your keyboard shortcut, you could have just came over here to Texts and do Add New Text Box, and one would pop up. Okay, for this box right here, I want it to say Table. Okay, and I am going to change over my font, so I'm just going to come over here to this font box and click down. Now, if you're using a free account in Canva, you want to make sure that whatever you check does not have this gold crown. The gold crown equals the paid for version of Canva. Luckily for Canva though, you have a ton of options of free fonts. You just don't want to use the ones that have the crown. Okay, after you get done selecting the font that you want to use, then you just want to click out of that, and you can resize this to the size that you want. Okay, then I want to insert another text box for my numbers. So I'm just going to press the T again on my keyboard. I'm going to make this larger, and I am going to make this right here. And I am going to change this font over to a cursive font. So I'm just going to click on my font choice right here. And I'm going to pick a font that I want to use for my cursive font. Okay, when you finally found the font that you want, you just want to click on it and then click out of it. At this point in time, what you could do is just resize your font to fit inside your rectangle. Now, if you're unable to click your other text box, all you would need to do is come to position, and we want to drag up this layer right here to bring it up. So now we can click on it. When you have the look that you're going for, all you need to do is move this over to the left a little bit, and we're going to Command C, Command V, or copy and paste, drag this over here. And now what you're going to do is double click on your number, and we're going to change that over to a different number, and you're going to resize this to fit inside your rectangle. Now you want to keep creating all the numbers that you need. If you needed more space, you would just come up here and just press add a page, and you would create multiple pages that you would need. For me, I'm only going to do 3 table numbers, so I'm going to select my last table number, copy and paste. Before I maneuver this over to the side, I'm going to select my 2, change my table number over. When I have that done, I'm just going to rotate this over to where I'll be able to fit 3 on a page. Now, I am only going to be doing 3 table numbers, so this is what my final look is going to look like. I'm only going to need 1 page. Then what you want to do is come up here to share, and you want to press download. Now over here at the download screen, if you paid for the Pro edition, you would want to press this transparent background, but since I'm using my free account today, I am just going to press download. Okay, then what we're going to do is open up a blank window in Cricut Design Space. Okay, then all you want to do is just press new project, and we are going to press upload. You want to go to upload image, and you want to find your downloaded PNG file, and we are going to drag and drop it into Cricut Design Space. We are going to press complex, and then just press continue. Now we are going to zoom in for this project. Now, if you had Cricut Access, you could do the automatic background removal, but I'm just going to keep this a free project. So I'm going to come down here to more options, and I'm going to bump up my color tolerance up to 50. And then I'm going to select everything that is white. So this is a white background. I'm going to select that. What gets revealed is this checkered box. That's what you want. You want to keep clicking the white until you get all of your checkered boxes revealed. I'm also going to reveal the inside portions of my rectangles. I'm also going to go inside the letters of the A and the B in table. Okay, and just to verify that you have cleared out all the white, what you want to do is come over here to preview cut image, and you can see that everything is nice and smooth. You're going to see table, and then 1 completely looks and reads legibly. Same thing with table 2. We go down to table 3. Okay, it all looks good, right? When you have it looking the way that you want, then all you want to do is press apply and continue, and we want to keep this a cut image. You can rename this if you wanted, but then you would just press upload. We are going to click on our uploaded file and then press add to canvas. Okay, at this point in time, what you want to do is now resize this to the size of your blanks, which is why we wanted to keep the rectangles. So what I like to do is come over here into shapes, and I'm going to click a square. Remember, what size did we have for our acrylic blanks? Mine was 4 by 6. So this width is going to be 4 and my height is going to be 6. Let me change the color over to a light pink just so we can see what we're doing. And I want to resize my file to fit inside this box. When I have that done, then I am just going to move this over to the side, and this is what our sized file is going to look like. Now, it is technically all stuck together in one group. So what I'm going to do is I have 3 table numbers that I'm going to be using today. So I'm going to select my pink box, and I'm going to copy and paste, and I'm going to create 3 of these little pink boxes. You're going to want to create as many pink boxes as you need for all the table numbers that you're going to be doing today. When you're done doing that, I'm going to take 1 pink box, and I'm going to put it over my first table number, only doing the table and the number. I do not want to include this rectangle. When I have that done, you're going to see that my pink box is completely covering my table and number. I'm going to select both pieces. I'm going to right click and press slice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this right here and delete it. I don't need it. And this right here, I'm just going to drag this over here. I'm going to keep that. Now going over into the second table number, I'm going to take my pink rectangle and I'm going to resize this the same thing I did with the first table number. I'm going to need to fit this into my table and number. When I have that done, I'm going to select both pieces, right click and press slice. Okay, then I'm just going to move this one over here just for right now. I'm going to move this one over here. I'm going to take this pink and I'm going to move it down here with the other pink. Now I'm just going to delete these three pieces right here because I don't need them. Now we're going to be working on our last table number. So I'm going to take my pink rectangle, doing the same thing we've done before. We are just going to resize this pink rectangle to only fit our table and number. And then we are going to select both pieces and then we're going to right click and press slice. Now we can delete this right here. We don't need it. We can delete this piece right here. We don't need it. Also this black piece we don't need. And now we have our third table number right here for us, looking good. Now, if you wanted to, you could change this over to the color of vinyl that you're going to be using. I'm just going to keep it pink because it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. When you're done doing that, you want to make sure and save your work, and then you just want to press make. Now, before we go ahead and cut these vinyl decals, one trick that I have to perfectly aligning our decals onto our vinyl blanks, what you want to do is open up that PNG file that we have already downloaded, and you want to print this on just basic white copy paper. I'm not going to do any type of resizing. We're just going to print this just the way that it looks. Okay, so what you want to do is grab your Cricuts and a Cricut mat. You are also going to need some vinyl. I'm going to be using Tech Wrap vinyl for this, and I'm going to be using the most cutest, gorgeous champagne gold color. And then you're also going to need some transfer tape. Okay, what you want to do is cut your piece of vinyl to the size that you need for your first mat. And I'm just going to put this onto my mat, make sure it's nice and stuck on there. Then what you want to do is open up your Cricut. Then on your computer, what you want to do is press browse all materials, and you want to search for vinyl. Now, depending on the type of vinyl that you're using, there is going to be a bunch of different settings. I'm going to do premium vinyl and then just press done. Now what I'm going to do is insert my mat into my Cricut. Okay, now my Cricut is ready to cut. So now I'm just going to press go on my computer screen and let the Cricut do the cutting. Before you eject your material, just take a weeding tool pick and try and see if you can weed out your material. So you can see how my material is weeding out perfectly fine. So I am going to eject my material. So what you would do is just press unload. I am going to cut my next mat. So I'm just going to take this off and I'm going to put on my vinyl for my next mat, inserting this into my Cricut. Now for the second mat, you just want to press go again on your computer screen. Now while this cuts, what I'm going to do is start weeding out this vinyl. Weeding is just taking out the stuff you do not want. So I'm just going to take my corner with my weeding tool pick and I am going to take away the vinyl that I do not want. Okay, my mat 2 is done cutting, so I'm just going to press unload. And we're going to slide this out to the side because we don't need it anymore. And weed out my next vinyl decal. Now what you want to do is take some transfer tape and you're going to take your largest vinyl decal and you are going to cut some transfer tape that is a little bit larger than your largest vinyl decal. The reason why I say the largest vinyl decal is the transfer tape is actually reusable until it's not sticky anymore. Then what you need to do is taking your acrylic blanks. All acrylic blanks should have some sort of masking tape on it. Sometimes it's plastic and clear. Sometimes it is this paper masking tape. No matter what, you want to make sure and take that off. Then you're gonna take your guide that we have created. I'm gonna be doing number 3 first. So I'm gonna lay this down on my table, and I'm gonna lay my acrylic blank onto my rectangle. Okay, so I have my acrylic blank onto my rectangle, so I'm gonna slide that over just for a second. I'm gonna take my vinyl decal, and I'm gonna take my transfer tape. I'm just going to take my weeding tool pick, and I'm going to take out the paper masking of my transfer tape. So what you're gonna be left with is something that is sticky. We're gonna put that onto our vinyl decal. I have a brayer, but if you don't have one of these, just getting a credit card and you want to push down nice and good on your vinyl decal, then you want to lift this up and roll this away, leaving your vinyl decal on your transfer tape. What you're taking away is going to be the paper backing of your decal. Okay, when you're done doing that, then what you want to do is nicely slide this over here. You want to make sure that this is still nice and good on there. And you are going to lay your vinyl decal over the top of your acrylic, lining it up with your lettering that you've printed. Okay, then all you want to do is push this down and roll this away, leaving your decal on your acrylic blank. Okay, then all I'm going to do is take my brayer again, and I'm just going to burnish my decal onto my acrylic blank, just so it gets nice and stuck on there. Look at this finished sign. Doesn't this just turn out so stinking cute? Super easy and affordable. The other great thing about this is if you didn't even want to grab a Cricut, what you could do is take these acrylic blanks, layer them onto your rectangles just like we did with the number 3. But instead of using vinyl, if you had like really nice handwriting or could trace, you could trace with a marker on top, and it would be completely aligned and center into your rectangle, which is fabulous. Okay, remember what I said, transfer tape is still sticky and reusable, so I'm going to use the same piece of transfer tape, and I'm going to do number 1 now. So I'm just going to put my transfer tape on my number 1, varnish it, turn it over, and we are taking away the paper masking tape, leaving this right here. You want to make sure that your acrylic blank is nice and centered onto the rectangle that we've printed. And we are going to line the vinyl decal up with our printed lettering that we created. Then you just want to press down and peel away the transfer tape. Now look at what our finished signs look like. Didn't they turn out absolutely amazing? And this is by using free Canva. Now I need to know, was that frustration crafting or what? And the sheer fact that these right here is the most budget-friendly wedding decorations that you can possibly make ended up turning out like some professional did it that probably would end up charging you hundreds if not thousands is exactly why I love crafting, because I'm going to be able to take some basic materials and one of my Cricuts, and I'm going to have finished works of art that people are honestly going to wonder how much I paid for it. And little did they know, it only cost me $2. All right, you DIY bride, I need to know, what else are you going to be making for your wedding? Let me know in the comments of this video, and I'll see you on the next one.